What if Pokemons weren't just in games? What if they were right here, grazing, sleeping, and staring back at you? Today, I'm heading to Ito, a quiet coastal town where childhood imagination and real life collide. Ito sits on Japan's Izu Peninsula, 2 hours south of Yokohama, a mix of ocean cliffs, hot springs, and quiet streets that feel untouched. But on a volcano called Mount Omaru, there's a zoo unlike any other. Part cactus garden, part open-air safari. They call it the Izu Shibuten Zoo, and stepping inside feels like starting a brand new game file. Our first encounter, 2 goats walking on the roof. It's bizarre, and that's when it hits me. This whole place feels like a living Pokédex waiting to be filled. Next up, the capybaras. They're basically giant pigs that can swim in the water. They move like they're on sleep mode until they see food. Then boom, instant level up animation. Totally worth it. We decided to pay 500 yen for a handful of grass, and suddenly they became our best friends. Pro tip, bring some cash. Same area, new species. Patagonian maras. It looks like a rabbit-deer hybrid. A little further in, there are rabbits in every shade. Brown, white, and black. Some shy, some curious, all with personalities. Over there are black-tailed prairie dogs. The sign says that there were 3 that were born a few months ago on March 11th. Not gonna lie, they look like actual portraits. Next, we loop through this rock garden which contains a lot of cactuses and this moai statue, and heading into the squirrel monkey tunnel where a lot of farm animals reside. These sheep look so weird. Why are their heads so black? I think they're called the Suffolk sheep. That's probably the origin story of Wooloos. Here are the deers. I guess I'm calling them deerlings. Also, what is that deer doing there? I guess I will never understand. As I walked through this pass-through, I saw 2 alpacas here and some donkeys on the left. They actually look really small. Can you really ride on donkeys? And here are some llamas, I believe. I think llamas are taller and have longer ears and longer faces, I believe, and alpacas are smaller and fluffier, so that's the difference. Alright, here are some hogs. They're definitely lechonks. I'm not gonna accept any arguments, they're lechonks. So over here we have tapirs. They have dream eater faces, which is actually the origin of drowsies. Next up are fennec foxes. They have big ears and tiny frames. They're fennecans in 4K. If it sneezes, I'm dodging their ember. Now we're heading into the bird paradise. This parrot reminds me of Chatot, while this giant toko toucan reminds me of Toucanon. This orange beak glows like a weapon. Now heading into the Sky Arena, first we see a giant white peacock welcoming us at the entrance. Looks like it is not afraid of me. And wow, the feathers are very long. Next I get to see a lot of grey crowned cranes, and it looks like this one over here is trying to pose for my video. Alright, you look very elegant here. Talking to the crane, not you. Then there's a sacred ibis that's just casually walking by me. That's a long curved beak that it has. And also that duck. Let's chase after the duck. And there are a lot more birds I don't recognize. Apparently there's a hobby called bird watching that I recently learned, and people just watch birds and identify them. So if you're a bird watcher, this will probably be very fun for you. Okay, looks like the chaos is continuing as we walk towards a pond. There are dozens of flamingos standing perfectly still, neck curved in soft S shapes. Reflection quivering in the wind. Their balance looks effortless, like nature's own choreography. Afterwards, I head into the small building marked Touch the Zoo. The temperature changed, warm air, soft lights, and faint smell of hay and humidity. After all the noise outside, this place seems very quiet. Looks like there's a lot of rodents and reptiles here, like this green iguana. I think it's an iguana. Also, I've always wondered why hamsters are fine with always running forever like that. Doesn't it feel like Sisyphus? Like, you know the story of Sisyphus always rolling the stone up the hill and falls down just for it to roll again. So it's like a endless punishment. Anyway, I spotted an axolotl here. This is a real life Ooper, which is also one of my top 5 favorite Pokemon. There's also this tomato frog here. Now we head into the center of the zoo. In the middle of the map you can see there's a huge lake where there are a bunch of monkeys here. Usually you can take the boat tours around to see the monkeys closer, but unfortunately it's not open today. So we just get to walk around instead. I gotta say, these monkeys are way friendlier than what I expected. No one would object if I called them mankeys, right? Last stop, at the very inside of the zoo, there's a giant turkey here. It is actually a cactus greenhouse, and inside is a huge cactus kingdom. It is a maze of cactus from every corner of the world. Short, tall, twisting, blooming, and walking through it feels like a desert route straight out from a Pokemon game. I laugh, this must be where Cacnea was born. But the longer I look, the clearer it gets. These plants survived the impossible places and still managed to bloom. Maybe evolution isn't about power, maybe it's about resilience. Now, leaving the zoo, in the late afternoon we decided to head to another famous tourist attraction, the Katawaki Bridge. It is a 47 meters of steel suspended bridge between two cliffs. The wind howling, waves smashing against the black rock. I pause, grip the railing, and step on. Each creak feels alive, each gust a test of courage. Midway through, I stopped and looked out, the Pacific stretching endlessly. Maybe the real adventure isn't catching anything at all. It's remembering what it felt like to believe you could.